How's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another video. I just got back from the movie theater and I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine, or Deadpool 3, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I just got back from the theater, so let's talk about my thoughts about the movie.
I know I turn everything into a joke, but I care. Or I want to use that for something important.
First of all, let's talk about the negative, because there's not very much of it. The only thing I'll probably say is that it was a little bit too long. It was like 2 hours and some change. And I'm not saying like it was like a drag, but the pacing was a little off because the scenes with dialogue were very, very stretched out. As in, the action scenes were very fast and there's a lot of them. But when they weren't happening on screen, everything slowed down. Maybe not to a screech, but if they wanted to trim some time down, they should have cut out a couple of the jokes here and there.
Stop it.
And just maybe brought the tone down just a little bit, but I'm not complaining because I was laughing my butt off the whole movie. And that leads to the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, which was phenomenal. On screen together, they were perfect. You know, Hugh Jackman was playing the straight man to Ryan Reynolds' comedy, and they just worked so well together because Wolverine was just constantly over Deadpool's crap, and Deadpool just never got the hint to just stop, because that's Deadpool. He just never stops. And the dynamic between them, it's been a long time coming that we got this movie, and I'm so glad that we did, because it seems like they had such a good time playing these characters in this movie together.
Waited a long time for this team up.
And then we get to the cameos, and there's an abundance of them, and some of them you'll be laughing your butt off, especially what happens to some of the characters, and the other ones you just be like, holy crap, I can't believe this is happening.
So did Storm and Beast, but I couldn't have him thinking I wanted to be there.
Because there's a couple like really quick, and there's like earlier on in the movie that you'll forget about them halfway through the movie because there's just so much. Like it's a lot more than Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, for sure. It's more like a homage to all of the 20th Century Fox superhero films that we got from Marvel and Fox over the years. And it was really like a send-off / love letter to those movies. And
Whoever you think I am, you got the wrong guy.
You were always the wrong guy. Till you weren't.
really showed with the cameos and stuff that we had. And really the only movie that you need to have seen before this movie going in, essentially, is Deadpool 1 and 2 and Logan, because they're very heavy on the plot for these three movies. And that's my other gripe. There isn't much of a plot. But that being said, there doesn't need to be. The stakes are put there, and then there's kind of like some potholes here and there. Like, it's fine. You shut your brain off. It's a comic book movie. It's dumb fun, and it's a blast, and you'll be laughing the whole time. It seemed like the whole theater was having a good time. I will say it's not a kids movie, so don't bring your kids to this movie, because
Fuck that, you were the X-Men.
I saw the most redundant thing. We were sitting there watching the trailers, and then they had a Red Band trailer for Alien Romulus, which I'm definitely gonna go see, so there's gonna be a review for that as well. But they took their, like, I don't know, like maybe 8 to 10-year-old kid out of the movie for that trailer, and then brought them back in to see Deadpool and Wolverine. And the irony just astounded me, because this movie is dirty, it's vulgar, the jokes are so bad. Like, not bad as in they're terrible, but they're like gross, dirty, like sex humor and all that stuff.
Are you ready? Fuck yeah, I'm ready. I'm the Wolverine.
And it's just not appropriate for children. And if you take your kid to see it, they're going to be like, after the movie, they'll be like, I didn't understand half the jokes in that movie. And it's really violent too. Like, it's a violent movie. And even violence aside, like, what are you doing? It's an adult movie. It's R-rated. So it's R-rated movie through and through. So that's another point I wanted to make. There were no punches pulled on this movie. It was 100% a hard R. Like, probably the hardest R I've seen as far as comedy, action comedy goes in a while. And it works because that's the type of character that Deadpool is, and Wolverine can be too, given the writer and the context of the comic and who he's interacting with. Because Wolverine just truly has no F's to give, because like he says in the movie, he's 200 years old. So he's been through a lot of crap, and hearing Deadpool all the time has got to be really annoying. Like, we love him as a character, but if he was there 100% of the time, in fact, my girlfriend probably feels like Wolverine does sometimes, and me vice versa, just because we talk so much at each other instead of to each other, just because some of our hobbies go over each other's head. But she enjoyed the movie as well. So there's something to that. If you're not a huge hardcore nerd like I am, she's seen Logan, she's seen Deadpool, but all the MCU movies are like in one ear and out the other for her. But for me, it's hardcore. She still enjoyed it. So yeah, anyone can go see this movie except for kids. don't bring your kids to see it. I will give it an 8 to an 8.5 out of 10. The only thing that drags it down is the runtime, and how that runtime could have been brought down with just a little bit of editing. Like, for sure, let them go off, but reel in just a couple of jokes, because they all hit, like most of them, 99.5% of them really hit. And there's a couple that were just like, could have cut that out and no one would have noticed. Like, I'm not saying they're bad, but no one would have noticed if they weren't there. All the cameos are fantastic. The cast is great. The villain is actually really good too. She's really compelling. You don't learn a whole lot about her other than like her core character, which is kind of changed from the comic books. It's a little bit different. So if you want to check out Cassandra Nova, you can check her out. But as always, if you guys like this video, smash the like button down below. 8.5 out of 10 for Deadpool. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Check out the Patreon for early videos. This one's going up as soon as I edit it. But Patreon videos early once a month. Let me know if you've seen the movie, if you're planning on seeing it, all that good stuff. As always, I love you. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye. Mwah.
Only 9 people, but my entire world is right here in this picture. And I had no idea how to save it alone, but you know how to save them.